Black guy, white guy, Asian guy walk into a YouTube video. The black guy's like, hey man, let me get some fried chicken. And the white guy's like, oh, well, may I please have some fried chicken? And the Asian guy's like, dog, no. And so, I'm sorry guys, I think I'm self-destructive. Oh my goodness, I'm so self-destructive. It's not hate speech. I covered mostly everybody. I didn't get you in there, Puerto Ricans. So we have a little bit to discuss before I get into the AIU stuff. Thank you. Okay, I see the number. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm not going to do a video on it until I'm further past the number, but I see the number and thank you. And with that being said, this is Markiplier. He is a gaming YouTuber, and he's someone who who I'm familiar with by, just by virtue of being on the platform. He's one of those who gets talked about enough that, you'll it's like the Ace fam. You may not know their content, you may not watch their content, but it's a rather familiar face. And he's throwing out a gigantic virtue signal, and the white ambassador has decided to step up and say something. So, I'm not the black ambassador, but I am a guy who likes to counter and talk about and break down what the white ambassador likes to say. So, hey, here we are. This is diversity, YouTube. Susan, this is what you wanted, right? You got an Asian, you got a black guy, you got a white guy. This is diversity. We are the world. We are the children, okay? So, with that being said, Devin, take her away.
Troubling times, like the ones we're going through now. It calls for something greater. What we need is leadership. And where else do we go for leadership than the gaming community? Because when the people rise up, we need the gamers to rise up to squash the people, or at least control them, make sense of it all. So we got this YouTuber, he's probably a Twitcher as well, his name is Markiplier, never heard of him. He's new to the scene, 25,000 subs, got a little fan base. He's gonna virtue signal something. He looks like Down syndrome Keanu. I will call him Down's Keanu. And apparently his eyeballs made a bet and said whoever gets to the nose first wins.
Today I'm going to be talking about a very serious subject that you probably already know about.
Erectile dysfunction.
A few days ago, a man by the name of George Floyd was murdered by a police officer while he was placed under arrest.
And here's where this video came out maybe a couple days back. But as you can see, as the world continues to, try and burn around us. Hey, even though Jersey ended up getting, we've had some, some disruptions, particularly in Trenton, where they've been lighting police cars on fire. We're not looking like Minnesota. And right now, the goal is to not look like Minnesota. They'll end up looking like Minnesota. And in that instance, AC got looted, true enough, but still, the Garden State it's holding pretty strong. Comparably speaking. But either ways, this has stopped being about George Floyd a long time ago. This wasn't even about George Floyd when George Floyd went down. They saw an opportunity. They saw this chance to just say, oh yes, Black Lives Matter. And you guys, I've done videos on them and what happened to Darren Seals. So we know that organization is just complete trash and could care less about really fixing any of these problems. They exploit. They, along with their gender and grievance studies professors and all of these different, mostly female and female-minded dudes who believe that they were born victims and, oh my goodness, there's no, how dare you, And this is a virtue signal from one of the same soft-minded people. No offense, Markiplier, but I've seen your hair color dye. And I've said on this channel multiple times, when someone dyes their hair, you gotta know you're dealing with someone who is they're hurting in some way, shape, or form, and most times they don't even realize it, because most of what happens with us as human beings takes place at a subconscious level. So yeah, Mark, I get you think right now you are being a good person. I have absolutely no doubt that he may be sincere, but the deal is that he hasn't given it much thought, like at all. That's me being very, very generous. Let's keep going.
The circumstances of his arrest are irrelevant. The man is dead.
Are you telling me that it's irrelevant that George Floyd did this porno?
Houston.
And we have a reason why this video was made. And in the context, yes, Devin, it's completely irrelevant that he got down with this very lovely young lady right here on camera. All right, like, I mean, I hope this isn't a knock. I really hope DT is not using this as a knock against George Floyd. If anything, my sir, you just increase this man's this man's mythos by 1,000,000. All right. Like, cause those guys, like, yeah, we get down on camera. It's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Man, we in here, man. This is what we do, man. You feel me? You gotta get it right. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah, man.
Look at this.
Time with the lovely.
Yeah, you definitely getting it right there, George. You're definitely getting it right. Honestly, there's something with bottom teeth that's like, but for the most part, baby girl bad. So that's the thing. Another great reason why this video gets to exist is because doing such things for, like I keep saying, male, female, completely different things. All right. A dude on film is completely different than a chick on film. Like me, myself, like I said, I've been on film. You can ask my exes, man. I just sit there, break it down. You know what I'm saying? Put some science behind it. Like, man, okay, so I have her leg at 180-degree angle right here. But if I increase that by about 15 degrees, I might be able to get about 10 more pressure points on the PSI in her Kegels. You know what I'm saying? To really lock me in. I don't know. I have to take down notes and like jot out a game plan for our next sexcapade. So yeah, as guys, you know, there's nothing about there's nothing inherently wrong with, you know, you swinging it on camera, because most of us, we are that arrogant when it comes to, you know, saying our proficiency. I don't want to say most of us, a lot of us are. I can't speak for each and every one of us, but as many ladies will tell you, dudes aren't shy about showing it. So like, and it's an inherent difference. Now, this young lady, on the other hand, yeah, lost to the wind. Sorry, sweetheart. I really wish the best for you. Save your money. But for the most part, into that, at least as far as I'm concerned.
What's your name, girl?
Kimberly Frank.
Sexy. Look at her.
For real, huh?
Yeah, no, I guess.
She been hearing it the whole life.
Y'all see what I was saying with the bottom teeth, right? There's something weird with her bottom teeth, but you know, it's like, all right, cool. Like y'all sit there and see these. It used to really blow my mind, particularly when I was younger, and I'd see like just the most beautiful women, like just giving their bodies away on camera. But when, you know, you're a kid and you come across those stashes, and it's just like, word, like, but if I were to I could like her, but could I like wife that? Because everybody in the world would have seen like, yo, something that was, you know, shoot, if I'm marrying her, something that was supposed to be mine just get dismantled by somebody that's not me. So, you know, it is what it is. Like, I do couple stuff and post it online if the lady was okay with it. But for the most part, the stuff that I've done has never hit the internet. I've lost memory cards, so I can't sit there and say for real. But it's never hit the internet. But either ways, back, we have sidetracked like nobody's business. This has nothing. This is completely irrelevant to what happened to Mr. Floyd.
Ain't nothing new. What's your sign?
Cancer.
Sexy, ain't
Yeah, she is. Absolutely, man. A dog. And she knows it.
Them lips, look at them lips.
Cancer, though. Ooh.
Oh my God.
Cancer.
And this sort of situation disproportionately affects a certain percentage of the population. George Floyd was an African American man.
Yeah, Asian guy, I'm gonna cut you off right there, okay? Ultimately, yeah, I ain't checked this dude's rings. I don't know, like, like what his heritage is, where his family's from, or anything else like that. There's a reason, see, for my Game of Thrones fans, there's a big reason that no one wanted to be a bastard, because it's like, yeah, you have no connection to your family or your lineage, and so you have no rights, no lands to claim, and stuff like that. And it's a big part of the reason why the culture in urban America is as over sexualized as it is because you could create all these people with no connection to their land or their or any kind of home. You can continuously tell the the descendant class that oh, you's from Africa and all this other stuff, when hey man, after 400 some change years, you're pretty American, my guy. Like you are the definition of an American. So like we are not the same, we may not be the same, and thusly it's kind of like, it's like how like just to sit there and project all that history onto one individual is nonsense. It really is. But actually, via the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X's of the world, like really forming what they teach these children in school as Black history, they can really they've become accustomed. It's sort of like, like I say, everything happens at the subconscious level. So you become accustomed to like linking things with a singular person and taking that one singular person and running with it. And they've done that in the George Floyd situation. You just got a whole bunch of nutty people thinking, what I'm saying, under it. And another thing, this really goes to show how terrible the American educational system is, the public education system is, because like look at all these people who really don't understand the economic impacts of the decisions that they're making when they sit there and say, oh yeah, well, let's burn it all to the ground. But what about the people that work at these places? What about the, the businesses that need these businesses in order for their business to thrive? There is so much to it. And well, they got insurance. Yeah, but do their employees? Like, how dare you be so selfish? But, when you feel like you're right, when you feel as if when you can justify your irrehensible actions, irrehensible? I can't help but feel like I said that wrong. But either ways, if you feel like you can justify your actions in harming another human being or a company or anything else like that, it gives you license. In your eyes, but it makes absolutely no logical sense. It's all built around the emotion.
And there's a long, storied history of African American men and women being murdered or abused while being placed under arrest.
Interesting. Long and storied. Well, if that story was 300 pages long, the white story is 600 pages long. So,
and that's really main reason why I do AIU videos, because he likes to play the tit for tat thing. Me, I'm just like, hey, somebody got harmed, somebody got hurt. I don't care if they're Black, they're white. Or who hurt them was Black or white. I would still want justice for that individual, for that individual's pain and that other individual's, I don't want to say arrogance, but them, like inflicting that pain.
yes, the white history of cops killing white people is longer and storieder.
This has resulted in numerous demonstrations, protests, and riots that have occurred across the country and centralized in Minneapolis.
Is this guy auditioning for NPR?
And I think, I hate the term.
Oh my goodness, I'm just so I have to really put my emotions and feel. And look at this still. Does he look sincere at all? Like, we call him like dead in the center. Does he look sincere at all? Just like, yeah, like it's more along the lines like he's reading from a script than anything else.
I think the last thing I want to do is to try to inject my opinion into a situation that neither deserves it or needs it.
Yet this video exists, huh? I beat you to it.
Why are you on YouTube? Why don't you get back to playing Minecraft? May I suggest finding diamonds and being careful of the lava?
But I think that this is a very human reaction to systemic injustice and racism.
What? Where's the evidence of that? Where is the evidence? Are we just in an evidence-free zone? When did discard the need to provide evidence for a claim?
Me too, my friend. I mean, yeah, me too. Like for the most part, if you're wondering how that accelerated to just a very easy thing to do here in New Jersey, Katie Brennan just got $1 million when the guy that she accused didn't even get convicted of anything. Yeah, we've entered that zone for a while. It's a part of that infiltration video that I did yesterday, where you got all these different elected officials, teachers, studies programs, and full-on municipalities, mayors, and governors and council reps who are just, whether they realize it or not, operating in more of a communistic, socialistic, Marxism type fashion. That's their mindset. And what you've done, particularly through the urban centers in this country, is that through the welfare state in those urban centers, we've propagated it. Like, this is America's doing. Like we did this, all the rioting and everything else like that. We've allowed elements to fester for really way too long.
So the logic is anything that happens to a black person is racist. A black person gets a parking ticket, it's racist. Someone calls the cops on blacks, has to be racism. I like how we skip over that part. That's taken as, oh yeah, we don't even need to go over the details, man. I'm already sure it was racism. Fuck off. We are living in the McCarthy era 2.0. But this time, instead of communism, it's racism. Everything is racist. It is airborne.
Yeah, no. It's communism. Make no mistake. Make no mistake, Devassi. That's what you're not here. You're not here. You're in Rio de Janeiro. You don't get it. Yeah, it is communism, my friend. And I would hate to sit here and be like, oh yeah, because I don't believe in, if you believe whatever you want, right? Like, that's it. It's just the trying to enforce it on other people and people who don't want it. That is where you really lose the high ground, as far as I'm concerned. Like, look, I believe chocolate is probably the greatest flavor to ever exist, right? You may think it's vanilla or strawberry, but guess what? I respect your right to believe that. I'm not going to sit here and try and convince you of chocolate, because guess what? Chocolate makes its own case. So the deal is, if you reject that case, hey, bruh, you're not me. It's fine. But if you were to sit there and say, no, Jay, we have to destroy all the chocolate, so there's only strawberry. That's where a lot of people just that's what a lot of people are. That's where their mindsets are. And that's why they feel the right to go and burn places down, because you better take this strawberry and like it. I don't care about your chocolate.
The virus. Ironically, McCarthy would be having a field day today because there's communists everywhere.
That has been pervading our country for the past 50, 100, 200 years.
Oh, now I know why they call you multiplier. Or is it multiplex? I've forgotten the name. Multiplexifier? Sounds like a word Vosh would use.
This is a problem that is deeply rooted in our government and in our communities and in the...
And here's the thing, Marky boy. A lot of those governments are filled with, come on, say it with me, come on. Come on, it's almost we're almost black people. Yeah, guy. That's the thing. These all, not just black people, but people of color, right? People of color, if we want to be all, English with it. They are already in these spaces. They 900% since the signing of the Civil Rights Act. There's been a 900% increase in, elected officials of darker pigments. And so thusly, there's been it's really hard to sit here and scream about white supremacy when these mayors and these elected folks can at any time, introduce policies that would genuinely change policing within our communities. And my main thing remains the drug war, because, hey, it's given a lot of license and if you can't enforce a law that don't exist, right? So just get rid of that, and we'll see where things play out. Give it 5 years. But all of this is everything that these folks are talking about has nothing to do with George Floyd, policing, or anything else like that. It has everything to do with spreading anarchy and chaos, and ultimately toppling the American empire. Make no mistake. And as someone whose family helped build this empire, somebody who served in its military and has lived a rather, comparatively speaking, sweet life, due to the sacrifices that my family and my people made, I feel it compels me to make videos such as this, where, you got your virtue signaling people who really have no claim to speak on these issues, not even through blood, as I feel I do, because this is what I grew up with, this is what I grew up in. I see the problems and I see ways that we can get around to fixing them. But that's not what the media wants. It's just nothing but anger, nothing but chaos. And as long as that continues, you're just exploiting. You're just exploiting us. You're not helping at all.
Systems that are supposed to help.
Right, it's the government's fault. I assume the white people in the government, so not the black police chief of Minneapolis. He's not part of the deeply rooted, storied history of racism. Tell me what you think.
Our fellow man, and it is a problem that needs to be rooted out at every turn. And it's always been a big point of mine to try to use my platform responsibly, to use my platform to steer people in the direction that I feel is right.
Who the fuck are you? I'm serious. Like, who are you to be like, oh yes, well, I feel that this is the right thing for you. Guys, I know he's like at 2.5 million subs. Devin is way higher than me. Everybody's higher than me on this totem pole. Just, hit the number that I hit. But the deal is that I would never sit here and tell you. Do I ever tell you guys how to live your life or what you should do? I just give you perspective. I just try to, explain, hey, there's a different way to look at this that, maybe we should maybe help a little bit. But this, yes, I'm going to tell you what to think and how to feel. That's right. Oh my goodness. I think we're done here. Yeah, I think we're done here. I think this video's run long enough. I'll tell you, man. It's so weird. So is it an Asian savior? Is this Asian savior complex? Because we got white saviors. So now do we have an Asian savior? I'm not sure. Everybody want to sit there and stake claim to history that in pain and struggle that really ultimately they know little to nothing about. And offered and only use as a means in which to, keep their brand going. And another thing, Black Lives Matter is Antifa. They're all communists. They're all Marxists. I'm telling you guys, I've been in the circles. That these people are off the chain, and we cannot continue. Honestly, they call in the National Guard. They call in the actual military. They call in the bombers at this point. I'm not mad at them. I'm really not, because all of this nonsense really has to just get shut down. We've allowed this as a nation, as a country. We've allowed this cancer to really grow and metastasize. I have no answers. I don't offer answers. I just offer ideas of how we can possibly start to get things around, but we'll see where everything plays out. So with that being said, we're gonna bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff, if you like to toss it, like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub and enjoy my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring, and YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know, what do you guys think in the comments? It's more savior stuff. I really found the George Floyd, porn stuff to be rather funny, because it's like, dude, is that a diss? Is that a diss, Devin? Because that's not a diss to me. That's not a diss to me at all. But yeah, guys. So let me know what you're thinking in the comments. And until the next one.